Hi, I'm Anna Olsen here on A1R, Insights into Consciousness, here on my segment every Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Tonight I'm going to do a reading, but first I wanted to cover a topic that has been on my mind, and that is the topic of what it is that makes people happy. So most of the time we want to feel happy. Most of the time we all would like to feel um, more of a light, pleasant feeling in our emotions, less pain, less discomfort, if possible. Of course, we know that pain and discomfort is something that will strengthen us. However, the goal is to reduce that through our experiences. So even though we may learn from it, we should be now able to disconnect from that discomfort by learning from our experiences and adjusting our lives accordingly. So, that said, I want to go into feeling extremes. And when we talk about feeling an extreme, what I mean by that is that we sometimes will feel like, let's say, very cold or very hot, or emotionally, if we're suffering from something like grief or a breakup, that's very uncomfortable, and we're so glad when we're not feeling that bad anymore, either that one extreme or the other. And what I want to talk about is how we can use these extremes, such as an extreme like a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, where we're limited in our activities. A lot of emotions are running high. There's fear in a lot of people. I want to go over why it is that we should appreciate these extremes, and these extreme ways of being. Now, when we are, let's say, going through something very difficult, we're growing. So growing hurts. It's like growing pains. We talk about when we're children and we are growing and our bones are growing, we tend to have something called growing pains, which are they're very, very uncomfortable. They hurt, which means that we are growing. The same goes for spirituality, emotionally, in every sense of the word. When people go in to get their doctorate degrees, they are really working hard on dissertations and the like to get to that degree, and really have to push themselves until they're very uncomfortable. And so this is really what I want to look at, is extremes of all kinds, really being uncomfortable, and what that tells us and what that can do for us. So it is necessary for happiness to have extremes. And what I mean by this is, when I do shadow work with my clients, I have a lot of clients that I work with on a regular basis. And those clients that tend to want to do their shadow work, what we work on is the idea that it's okay to feel uncomfortable, and it's okay to expose certain parts of ourselves to others and to be more vulnerable that way. Because what we're doing when we're looking at those dark sides of us, that everybody has, we are looking at what it is that makes us extremely uncomfortable, or is in the dark, or that dark side of us. And then we can really appreciate the positive, or the light, or the good. Now, if we went through our entire lives with no discomfort, no pain, no trials, we would have no idea what good truly feels like. So we're looking at the darker aspects of life in the sense of contrast. And when we're speaking of contrast, what we're really speaking about is understanding that being uncomfortable is necessary to even know when things are good. And I think that's the whole idea, even like from a religious aspect or spiritual aspect. What we're really delving into here is understanding why we were given a discomfort, pain, or darkness, or however you want to look at it, and what that really can do for us. And sometimes we can, I always call it people's boot camp. And I work with a lot of people who have been through some pretty intense boot camps from a young age or just in their lives in general. And what I learned from these people is that they can really tolerate some extreme discomfort and really know from experience, okay, this is what I need to do now. And in addition, they tend to really have a lot of emotional strength. So it seems like the farther into the depth of someone's soul that they've had to go, the higher their ability for happiness. So as deep as I guess you could call it the bottom part of that iceberg, as deep as that goes, we also have that same deep potential for growth, love, joy, and happiness. So I just want people to know this goes hand in hand, that our trials aren't in vain, that they do cause a lot of good in the end, not just strength, but also it gives us that contrast. So, I mean, one thing that I can think of, when my children were young, I had to do a lot of my own, and I didn't mind spending time with my children, but it was a lot of work because babies are very demanding. It's a 24/7 job. It is definitely one of the hardest but most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. And now that my kids are older and more independent, I feel like, wow, that was quite an achievement. And I know so much about the topic. Other people come to me now for advice with their younger children. And at the same time and in the same right, I feel like, oh, thank God that's over. Thank God they're not little babies anymore and I don't have to chase them around. And wow, I'm glad that's over. Not that I don't love babies. It's just when you're doing a lot of it on your own and it's a lot of work, especially if they have any medical or special needs like some of my kids did. It's really not for the weak, with sleep deprivation and constant demands and very little time for yourself. So that's just an example. Now, another example that I can kind of come back to is when we feel hungry physically. When we feel hungry, especially when you're really hungry, have you ever noticed that food just tastes so much better? I wouldn't even recommend eating your favorite meal unless you're really, really hungry because it's so much better when you get to eat. And that's just a small example of a discomfort that we can feel that actually makes our lives better. And that discomfort kind of pays off because life becomes more delicious. It becomes more rewarding and it becomes so much better in every sense of the word. It's like, hunger it's such an innocent need. It's like this, it's sort of like almost, like I've heard it called like an innocent, most innocent sin or something like that, where like it's just something we need to survive. And when we're talking about emotions and we're talking about our connections to other people, our loved ones, and how it's even deeply spiritual, it's really you just full round coming back to how we really just are going to our very basic needs for survival. And that's really what I'm talking about, is those needs for survival that we can really look at as part of our shadow side, that when we were children and we had all these needs, and of course there's no such thing as a perfect parent, so no matter how great our parents are, we're always going to have some need that needs to be filled. And when it comes back around to it, we're the ones that need to fill that need in ourselves, even if that means guiding others or having others guide us to that healing. So this is really the base of what I wanted to bring to your attention, and just kind of like help you to understand that a lot of the work that I do with my clients is based on these extremes, and understanding the extreme of grief, or understanding this extreme sadness of a breakup or the end of a marriage or what have you. The worst case scenario is the death of a child, and that's really the one that hits home the most. And that is also one where people come out with the most learning and the most amazing lessons learned. They come out really a lot stronger, and they can pretty much do anything after that. also war vets. It's just kind of really interchanging dimensions when we're talking about these traumas or these things that people go through, traumas that are really life altering. We're really kind of delving into the things that make people the most really just searching the depths of their souls. And really, those are the extremes that cause people to grow the most. And I know I've had those in my life. So I'm going to take a caller here. This is Sierra in St. Petersburg, and I would love to do a reading for you for free tonight, Sierra. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. What can I do for you tonight?
Huh?
Do you have a question, a specific question, or something that you would like to focus on tonight?
A question?
Yeah, or a specific topic you would like to focus on?
Um, I don't really have a topic. There's just someone on the other side that I kind of want to connect to.
Okay, sounds good. So you have somebody you'd like to connect to. Um, so did they pass recently? Is it somebody that you knew pretty well?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm getting a female energy. Is that who you were hoping would come through tonight?
Yes.
Female? Okay. And I'm wondering, is this, I'm kind of getting some chills when I'm thinking of grandma, but it feels like maternal. So I'm guessing, is it grandma or mom?
Grandma.
Grandma, that's what came in first. Okay. So I'm feeling grandma, and what she's actually saying to me and what I'm hearing and feeling is that she's working with your spirit guides, and they're all on this team spiritually. They're like your support group, like a team, really guiding you through and watching you and cheering for you when you succeed. And what I'm hearing, I'm getting so many chills with your reading, Sarah, because there's a lot of spiritual activity going on. And Grandma is telling me that you are a very unique spiritual person and that you have great work to do in your lifetime spiritually. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, she's telling me that you are very, very gifted spiritually, that you have a great connection to spirit and to things that are spiritual. Now, did you have this connection with your grandma? Did she maybe teach you or talk to you about these things regularly?
Not about spiritual things, but she taught me about a lot of things.
Okay. So she was there for you quite a bit growing up.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what she's telling me, it's interesting because does it make sense to you when she's pointing or showing me a puppy?
For a puppy. Um, I
Or maybe
have
a
a
dog?
small dog, but she never would let me have a dog when I lived with
Yeah.
her.
So she's pointing to the dog and she's saying that this is one of the things that's she's just saying she's the same person. She's confirming that to you that it's her. She's talking about the dog and um, that you guys just had this everyday life together, and she's pointing to that as something that she really is just showing me your daily life together that you guys shared. And um, now, was she? I'm getting Christian or Catholic because I'm seeing a gold cross.
Yes, I have her gold cross.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so she's coming through and she's showing me your gold cross. Are you wearing that?
Yes, I'm wearing it right now.
Okay, so she's pointing to the gold cross and she's saying, "Sweetheart, I love you. You're going to do great things." She can't wait to see you do those things. She's waiting nearby. she's watching everything you do, and she's pointing to the gold cross and saying, you know what? I am so excited to cheer you on. And then someday, when you are done with all these wonderful things you're going to do, she's going to be waiting for you on the other side. And she wants you to know that there's nothing to be afraid of, there's nothing scary. It's like walking through a door, and she's going to be waiting for you there. And she's going to take your hand and she's going to walk you into the next life.
Oh my gosh.
She just wants you to know how
That's
much she
amazing.
loves you. And she wants you to know that you gave her life meaning,
She wants me to know what?
that you gave her life meaning.
Oh,
Does the
I
color
miss her
purple mean
so much.
anything? I know, sweetie, I
The
know.
color,
And does the color purple mean anything to you?
it was pink.
Pink?
Yes,
What was it?
the color of her home was pink.
Okay, because I'm seeing something about purple, but it looks more to me like um, a blanket, or maybe like a lining of something purple. And
Oh my God, she gave me a purple blanket for Christmas.
okay, that's what it is. So do you have it on your bed now?
I do not have it no more.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing the purple blanket, and she's showing me, this is just your grandma showing you all of the ways that she's thinking about you, all the ways that she still thinks about you. She hasn't stopped thinking about you. She is constantly guiding you through. Now, she has a connection. Have you seen anything specific after she passed where you would be going about your day and you just swore that was your grandma and that meant that your grandma was nearby?
A rainbow.
Okay, so rainbows. Now,
A rainbow.
in addition to the rainbows, I want you now to look for pink flowers. So, I don't know, have you already made a connection with pink flowers in your grandma?
Yes. When we spread her
Okay,
ashes, we put flowers out for her too.
okay, so the pink flowers. So when you're out and you see pink flowers, it could be either a
I gave it
picture
to
of
you with
pink
the dog.
flowers, or it could be, your if somebody gives you pink flowers, or you're out and you notice a pink flower on the ground. I mean, it could be anything, but she's also going to scatter some beautiful pink flowers around for you. And just so you know, like, one of the things that I have noticed is that perhaps, like, when I'm coming to bring somebody a present or something, sometimes it represents something one of their past loved ones can really show that they're around with. Like, if it's like a certain flower or something like that, other people will start bringing you things that will correlate to the purple blanket, the pink flower, the rainbow, all of these signs, the gold cross. You'll start to notice, you'll be seeing these things that represent grandma at just the right time. And these things are called revelatory synchronicities, and they're also called synchronistic signs from our loved ones to let us know that, they're there. They notice what you're going through. They know you. They are close to you. They're still watching. And she'll want to comfort you during these times too. So it's important to kind of look for these things, and grandma will show you she's around. So what was your grandma's name?
Marianne.
Marianne. Okay. So when you see the Virgin Mary too, that's another way that she's going to represent herself in your life. So just correlate the name Mary with the Virgin Mary, because she was showing me the Virgin Mary. So sometimes, like, you'll go into a restaurant and you'll see a beautiful pop art on the wall with the Virgin Mary or something like that. Does that make sense the way I'm explaining it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she just wants you to know that She is with you always. You can talk to her and communicate with her. If you need your grandma, you can ask her for signs and support. So if you're having a rough time, Sierra, you can ask your grandma for help and for comfort, and she will show you some of these signs to let you know she's always with you.
Okay.
So do you have any other questions?
No, you answered them all.
Okay, great. Well, I thank you so much for calling in. I'm so happy that I was able to touch on this topic for you and to get to talk to your grandma with you and everything. And I feel very honored to be part of your connection with your grandma. And I just wish you the best. And Sarah, if you want to follow up or you want anything else, definitely let me know. You can reach me at anna@olsenintuitive.com if you'd like a follow-up reading or any. Let me know how you're doing. You can even email me.
Okay.
Okay. Have a great night. Thank you
Right.
so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
So, an explanation of one of the things that I can pinpoint here with Sierra's reading is that correlates to extremes is losing a grandmother, basically one of your parental figures, maternal figures in your life who's very important to you at a young age. And this is something that is so difficult for kiddos to go through. It's something that is just heart wrenching, and especially when they have less understanding. I know I lost my father when I was 15, and I can relate that we all have these sometimes very painful experiences in our lives that can really, really affect us deeply in a way that we really start thinking life might be unfair or that life may be um, playing favorites, or this is how people start to say that they don't believe in God or they're angry at God, or and these are all very normal responses. And what I have to say about that is these are the things that give us the experience and the skill set to help others in the same situation that we've been in. And I would bet I see Sierra doing some amazing things. I can tell she's a bit young right now, and I absolutely love the younger generation and how strong they are spiritually. They're so intelligent. They have such amazing capability of connecting and not being judgmental. And I really, really love our younger generation, and I just really think that people like Sierra, they're going to grow up and they're going to help so many people with their experiences. So they take their loss. I think we should all do this, that we all take our loss or whatever discomforts we have and figure out how they're making us grow, how we've had to battle through them and really figure out, even from ground zero, the very basic of the foundation of like how to rebuild our lives and take those skill sets and just share it with others so that we can build bridges with other people. Because I really do think that, especially during this time with the pandemic, it's really important to reach out to others and to make sure that we create these great positive connections with others, build bridges, make sure that those connections aren't anything negative. You don't want to, say something negative or mean that you'll regret later to somebody because you're upset in the moment. These are the types of connections with people that we really need to build positive, loving, wonderful connections with others so that if you didn't see them tomorrow, you wouldn't have any regrets. And I think this is really why we're here. We're here to learn from negativity, from loss, and to really share this with others. I really think that we're supposed to be there for each other to take each other home. I think we're supposed to prove to the spiritual realm and to God that we can be trusted with our brothers and sisters here, our fellow man, that we are here to really prove ourselves and to prove that we're trustworthy, and that if we do make a mistake, which we will, that we can come back stronger, and that we can come back with much more tenacity, growth, and love in us. And I just, really, I just really want all of my clients to know how much I care about them. I work on a personal level with them. I would be happy to work with you. You can always reach me at AnnaOlsenIntuitive.com. I have a contact page there. It's 2 N's in Anna, Olsen. Intuitive is Intuitive. You can also reach me on Instagram. You can request to follow me. Tiny Medium Queendom on Instagram. So be the @ and then Tiny Medium Queendom. And going back to really just why we have these extremes in our life, it's because if we didn't have the darkness, we would not fully understand the light. If we did not have the pain, we would not fully understand the happiness. And I think it's all about figuring out our own stuff so that we can help each other. So I just really want to stress that the spirit world isn't far. Our loved ones see us and they love us. They will let us know we're there. You can talk to them anytime you want. They're always there to listen to you. And if you don't want a spirit in your space, you can ask them to leave. That's up to you. That's your boundary. And boundaries are very, very important with the living and the dead. So that's my time for tonight. I'm Anna Olsen here on A1R Radio Network with my segment every Thursday, and that's at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, with insights into consciousness. You can search me anywhere on the web. I'm on Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, and I also have a page on Facebook, which is Anna Olsen Intuitive. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call and let me know what you need, and I'm always willing to work with you. So have a wonderful night, and thanks for watching.